Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC B2968 for the Honda Odyssey indicates a short in the humidity sensor circuit. This problem directly impacts the climate control system, particularly affecting the function of the automatic climate control settings. The humidity sensor is pivotal for accurately detecting moisture levels inside the vehicle, allowing the climate control unit to adjust the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems accordingly. Its location is typically near the front windshield or dashboard, where it can effectively monitor air quality. Having a malfunctioning humidity sensor can lead to improper climate regulation, impacting passenger comfort, and potentially other electronic functions within the vehicle. Thus, diagnosing and resolving this DTC error is essential to maintain optimal performance and comfort. The DTC B2968 signifies a short in the humidity sensor circuit, which is critical for the functionality of the vehicle's climate control. The main affected component is the humidity sensor, which detects moisture levels within the cabin air. This sensor influences various aspects of the climate control system, including the automatic adjustment of air conditioning and heating to ensure a comfortable environment for passengers. In terms of location, the humidity sensor is usually located near the dashboard or front windshield, ensuring that it can accurately assess indoor humidity levels. A short in this circuit can lead to erroneous readings or failure of the climate control functions, thereby necessitating thorough inspection and repair to restore proper operation. Several possible causes could lead to the DTC B2968 being triggered. The first possibility is a faulty humidity sensor, which may fail to provide accurate readings due to internal damage. Another common issue is wiring problems, which could be due to insulation damage or short circuits that result from wear and tear over time. Poor connections, such as loose or corroded terminals, may also prevent proper electrical flow to and from the humidity sensor. Each of these potential causes can compromise the sensor's ability to communicate effectively with the climate control unit, thus leading to discomfort within the cabin. Therefore, identifying the exact cause is crucial for effective resolution and restoring function. When DTC B2968 is triggered, several symptoms may become evident during vehicle operation. One common symptom is inaccurate climate control. The system may not provide the correct temperature settings, leading to discomfort for passengers. Additionally, when the auto mode is engaged, the climate control may not respond appropriately, failing to adjust to humidity changes. Often the driver may notice warning lights illuminating on the dashboard, indicating a malfunction within the climate control system. These symptoms collectively suggest that the sensor is not functioning correctly and needs immediate attention to avoid further complications. Proper diagnosis will allow for identification and resolution of these resultant issues. The first step in troubleshooting DTC B2968 is to clear the diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This involves connecting the HDS tool to the vehicle's onboard diagnostic port and selecting the option to clear codes. Following this, turn the ignition switch to the lock position, which is typically the 0 position on the key ignition. Then, switch the ignition back to the on position. This procedure resets the vehicle's electronic systems, allowing for a fresh start in diagnosing issues. It is essential to follow these steps precisely as they lay the groundwork for accurate diagnostics and subsequent steps. The second step involves performing a self-diagnostic function with the HDS. This diagnostic tool allows for a comprehensive assessment of the vehicle's electronic systems, including the climate control unit. After conducting the self-diagnostic, check if the DTC B2968 or other related DTCs are present. If the indicated code reappears, it confirms that the fault persists in the humidity sensor circuit. If no related codes are shown, this could suggest an intermittent failure, which might be due to loose wiring or poor connections in the humidity sensor circuit. Identifying the presence of DTCs at this stage is crucial for determining the next steps in the troubleshooting process. In this step, you should repeat the process of checking for diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, after the initial view. Specifically, look for other DTCs such as B121D, B1234, B1237, or B2980, which may indicate issues with related systems such as the windshield defrosting function. If any of these codes are present, they suggest interconnected problems within the climate control system. On the other hand, if none of these codes are indicated, it implies that the problem might be localized to the humidity sensor itself. Gathering data from this diagnostic phase is essential in deciding the next move in effectively resolving the primary issue of the DTC B2968. For this troubleshooting step, the ignition switch must again be turned to the lock position to ensure safety before performing the physical inspection. Carefully detach the humidity sensor, which is often located on or near the dashboard or the windshield area. Once the sensor is removed, it should be tested for functionality. This can typically be done using a multimeter to check for continuity and ensure it is operating within the manufacturer's specifications. If the sensor's performance is adequate, this leads to the next steps in diagnosing the circuit. If not, replacing the sensor would be necessary to resolve the issue connected to DTC B2968. At this stage, it is crucial to determine whether the humidity sensor is functioning correctly. If the sensor passes all checks, it confirms that this component is not the source of the problem. From here, you will proceed to check the electrical connections and wiring. However, if the humidity sensor fails during testing, it should be replaced to rectify the circuit error associated with DTC B2968. Replacing the component generally resolves issues linked with sensor inaccuracies and subsequently climate control failures, thereby restoring proper functionality of the vehicle systems. In this step, disconnect the 4P connector from the humidity sensor to isolate it from the system. Then, disconnect the climate control unit connector B, which contains 16 pins. This disconnection allows for a focused check of the circuit's integrity without interference from other components. With the connections detached, continuity between the climate control unit connector B, terminal number 4, and body ground must be examined. This step is vital for determining if a short to body ground exists in the wiring. Finding continuity would indicate a problem in the wire linking the climate control unit to the humidity sensor, needing immediate repair. In this step, you'll determine if there is continuity from the climate control unit connector B terminal number 4 to body ground. If continuity is present, it suggests that there is a short circuit within the wiring between the humidity sensor and climate control unit, necessitating repair. Repairing this short typically involves identifying where the wiring has frayed or made contact with body metal or other components that can create a ground. After performing necessary repairs, ensure that all connections are securely reattached to avoid future mishaps. This integrity check is important for preventing recurrence of the DTC B2968 fault. For this troubleshooting step, disconnect the climate control unit connector A, which has 28 pins. The focus will then be directed towards checking continuity between climate control unit connector A, terminal number 25, and climate control unit connector B, terminal number 4. This procedure is significant as it assesses the integrity of wiring between these two critical components in the climate control circuit. If continuity is found at this junction, it indicates that the connection is intact and functioning correctly. However, if there is no continuity, further investigation of the circuit wiring is necessary, potentially pointing to fault conditions that must be repaired. Once repairs have been made, it's essential to perform a final verification to ensure that the problem indicated by DTC B2968 has been resolved. Start by checking for any remaining diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, using the HDS or other diagnostic tools. It's crucial to rerun the self-diagnostic process, as this will confirm whether any issues persist within the climate control system. Finally, verify that all functions related to the humidity sensor and the automatic climate control operate correctly. This thorough check not only highlights if the repair was successful, but also ensures the vehicle is restoring proper environmental comfort for occupants. For ongoing reliability, preventive maintenance of the humidity sensor and its circuit is essential. Regular checks on the humidity sensor to ensure it operates within specifications can prevent future issues. Inspecting the wiring for wear or damage can save considerable time and expense, as early detection of wiring faults can avert more severe complications. Additionally, keeping connectors clean and corrosion-free is vital for maintaining optimal function. Ensuring that all components of the climate control system are in good working order will enhance performance and prolong the life of the climate control unit. Good maintenance practices significantly reduce the chances of encountering DTC errors like B2968. In summary, understanding the implications of DTC B2968, which indicates a short in the humidity sensor circuit, is critical for effective troubleshooting. Following the outlined steps systematically is fundamental to isolate and identify the issues affecting the humidity sensor and the climate control system. Rigorous testing, repair of wiring faults, and ensuring the humidity sensor is fully functional are key actions necessary to restore normalcy. Additionally, regular maintenance practices can significantly reduce the likelihood of recurrence. By adhering to these guidelines, vehicle owners can ensure that their Honda Odyssey maintains optimal performance and comfort throughout its operational life. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.